Here is a clear example of a double standard. Recently, the New York Times released an article that encouraged women to go abroad to find love. And y'all, this hypocrisy is unmatched. Did we not literally see the last couple of months, Black men in particular, be on trial for going abroad to do the exact same thing? Did we not see that? Did we not see videos and articles and even interviews on media sources literally throwing Black men under the bus for doing the exact same thing? So now, how do we fast forward just a couple of months later and all of a sudden it's okay when women do it? They're not being seen as exploitative. They're not being called gay or lame or corny. They're not being said that they have bad attitudes. They're not being said that they are antisocial. None of that. No, it's all because the dating market is just not in their favor. It's all because men don't know how to act. This is why they have to go abroad. Why? Because men are the problem. See, but again, the issue with these kinds of setups is that it's totally and completely biased. This is completely biased. This is completely unfair. And it is a prime example of why men actually are going abroad. This is also another reason why you have the manosphere. This is why you have places that aren't necessarily supported by mainstream media that are dominated by men. Because men's voice and their point of view usually is not being represented in media. And we see this time and time and time again. This is a prime example of a large media source that is celebrating women for doing something that Black men in particular, have been shamed and judged and degraded for. And so these are the kinds of scenarios that honestly show me why there are spaces online where men get together. And it may not be supported in mainstream media, but it's important that they have that space, because we obviously see in these kinds of scenarios where both point of views are not being represented, both point of views are not celebrated. At the end of the day, I don't think we're going to see videos and campaigns of women being called predators, women being called exploitative, women being shamed or guilted for going abroad. I don't think we're going to see that. I think we're going to see this being celebrated. We've already seen multiple shows. They mentioned a new show in this article. Everything from Stella got the groove back. There's literally an entire system that supports this kind of behavior around women, so it's not going to be criticized. My point is, if we're not going to criticize women for it, then we definitely shouldn't criticize men for it too, because the reality is the world itself is becoming a lot more global. Everything in this world is becoming so much more interconnected. And so to try to shame men for something that is actually quite natural and is actually the byproduct of globalization, to me, it's just kind of weird. And I don't think it's really going to work. I mean, we're not going to be able to shame men into doing something that we want them to do, especially when we are found to be hypocrites. And so these kinds of scenarios to me reinforce not only how biased the media is and the importance of taking everything that you read and say with a grain of salt. It also reinforces to me the importance of trying to be open-minded and making sure that you are listening to both perspectives. And as I mentioned before, if you want to go abroad to find love, good luck. If you want to stay here to find love, good luck. It does not matter to me. I think ultimately it's just important to not shame somebody no matter what path they choose. And definitely don't shame somebody if you're doing the exact same thing. What does that scripture say? Why do you look at the speck of sawdust in your brother's eye and pay no attention to the plank in your own eye? And I think this is a prime example. But what do you think? Do you agree or do you disagree? Let me know. Leave your questions, comments, and concerns in the comment section below. Thank you so much for listening if you've gotten this far, and we'll talk later. Bye.